Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is December the 21st, 2024. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Today was nice, it was productive, but most importantly, it was relaxed. It was so nice. No work, no laundry. That's why I got it out of the way yesterday. So it was nice just to kind of wake up. I did sleep a little funky. I went to bed a little early. That tends to be my thing, I've noticed, especially this year, where I've given up on trying to stay up late on like a day where I know I'm going to be off, or just a weekend day where I just have the day to myself. I just let myself fall asleep at like 8, 9 o'clock and then wake up in the middle of the night and just kind of get through it. But overall, I got like another a little rest in between that. So I wake up, kind of get myself together, and I decide, hey, I think this is the last week. I don't keep extreme tabs on it, but I was like, I think this might be my last week before while I can get my little holiday shake from Chick-fil-A. So I was like, let's go ahead and mosey on up there and get that. So that was nice. Got my little shake, just kind of hung out. Oh, also I've realized too, I don't like eating in my car anymore. Now that I have a new car, I guess I'm going on that logic of like I don't want to smuts it up. I don't want to mess it up. So I'm in Chick-fil-A just slurping on a milkshake because I don't want to take it outside for fear I'm just gonna cream up the whip. I don't know, but it was a nice little start to the day. I'll take it. Then I went to the gym, went to work out. This is my first time doing it and having like a light regimen in mind. Granted, my cardio really isn't changing, but I've just I'm doing half of the weight that I'm usually doing. I'm doing a little bit, maybe less reps on the machines. So overall, that was good. I will say though, new day, new problem, at least new pain problem. My neck started acting up today. So I was like, oh, great. Love that. Got a stiff neck now. But, excuse me. Overall, though, my back area is feeling better. The area that's really hurting feels a bit better. I think I'm also kind of targeting what exactly I'm doing that's really like causing the most pain, maybe even creating the problem. So hopefully I kind of get maybe just work on my form, definitely not lifting as big, just saying, hey, let's lift so that we know we can get a good form, keep a good form, and that'll probably be better for me in the long run, right? And I'm still getting a pump, you know what I mean? I'm still happy with where I'm at. More or less, I think we're sitting in like the low 30s, and that's okay for me. I think I would like to maybe settle at 225, but I'm sure if I even got down to locking in 225, I'd want to find a way to go lower, right? So overall, I'm good where I'm at. I think just closing out the year, it's been crazy. I know I kind of keep coming back to this, but I mean, hey, this is one of my biggest milestones I've ever accomplished personally. So I'm gonna keep tooting this horn, even into 2025. So I'm sorry about it, whatever. But anyway, after oh no, actually an important thing because it was really nice. It was a really cute moment. So I was like just wrapping up on the treadmill, and I look over in the gym, and it felt like I was like seeing a ghost. Like it was one of my friends I used to play Magic with at like card shops and stuff. He's moved to different spot. He's new location, and I was like, is that my homie? And he's looking at me having the same moment, and we're like trying to like run up to each other. So we finally get up to each other, we're talking, and it was just so nice to see him. I guess it totally makes sense, right? It's the holidays. He's doing a little bit of like working vacation type situation. He's looking jacked to the gills. I'm like, yeah, buddy, let's go, dude. It was just so nice to like see a friend, and to know that they're good, they're making things happen for themselves, and just catch up. It was really cool. It was nice. So that was a fun highlight to my day. But yeah, after gym, I went and got some Scooter's coffee. That was hitting. That was nice. And now here we are. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about Food Corner from last night. It was hamburger, hot dogs, fries. It was really good. I had I think the remaining bag of the Rally's fries. So we finally cleared those, and then I had some like shoestring fries as well. So it's kind of nice. Like, you know, you had like more or less your regular shoestring fries, and then or they weren't shoestring. I'm sorry, y'all know I don't really like shoestring. Those are like really thin, but the straight fries, and then the Rally's fries. You know, so it's like a little zesty and then a little normie. So there you go. That was nice. It was good. Let's see. Here's really anything else that I need to report about, blog about? No, I think we're good. I think we covered it. So let's go ahead and do our startup and let's get into some news. Whew. All right. Our first story comes from the Associated Press. Government funding bill clears Congress and heads to President Biden, averting a shutdown. Facing a government shutdown deadline, the Senate rushed through final passage early Saturday of a bipartisan plan that would temporarily fund federal operations and disaster aid, dropping President-elect Donald Trump's demands for a debt limit increase into the new year. So Johnson was able to scramble, I believe it was like Friday night into like Saturday morning. They definitely didn't beat the deadline. We talked about that a little bit yesterday. So, am I too surprised about this? No, because no one really wants it. Like, Trump was putting on a brave face. Sure, Elon Musk was like bitching and pouting about this shit, even in the post, like after they came to the conclusion. But this was needed. This just needed to get done. They, I guess, successfully at least trimmed down a bill that had like over 1,000 pages of text down to like, I think 118. But essentially, it is about the same deal that Democrats and Republicans reached in the House in the beginning, before Trump and Elon just started saying, oh, this is a problem. We got to do this and this and that. And if they don't, then it's on the Democrats. This is their fault. Shut it down. But, more or less, it seems that cooler heads have prevailed here. That's good. Like I said, this is more or less the same, just closer to bare bones. I know like farming and agriculture also got, a little bit of a lick here. And I imagine we're going to revisit this shit and shit in 2025. So, more or less these things are going to happen. I imagine there is going to be a debt ceiling increase, all that bullshit. It's just not going to happen exactly the way Trump wants, which is kind of part of the course. Trump wants all these things. He usually winds up having to settle and take what's given, but he's still happy with the results. So whatever, time goes on. I will say though, maybe the biggest takeaway for me is that you see how much pull Elon Musk really has here. He really gets to like have Trump's ear. And I mean, some people are saying definitely, hey, Trump was going to come to this conclusion and act the way he was going to act, like inevitably. But it's kind of just a question of like Elon Musk was just saying it sooner. But you just see that this guy is literally at the like right hand of Trump, and he gets to say and push for whatever he wants is going to benefit him and his interests. And probably Trump's going to go along with it. He's not going to have much of a static. I think there are some people who are speculating, ooh, I wonder how long this relationship can work. And it's like, I think this relationship can work for as long as Elon Musk is willing to, be this kind of player. And I think not only that, you're seeing more people hop up onto the plate. Like you got, was it Tim Cook or whatever from Apple? You got Sam Altman from fucking OpenAI. You got Jeff Bezos. You got Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, the list goes down the line of all these tech CEOs. Even like publications like ABC doing these big settlements that like maybe they wouldn't have done had Trump lost. But essentially, everyone's kind of coming and kissing the ring, floating down to Mar-a-Lago, seeing what's up, seeing how the vibe looks. Because at the end of the day, Trump loves a convert. He loves a guy or gal, whoever, who can say, hey, man, we had our problems, but can we just talk? Can we just work this out? Are we okay? And like, really, that's all the attention and maybe especially some money. Throw me some millies. Trump will work with you. He will make it happen, apparently, at least to a point, right? So yeah, I mean, that's where we're at with that debt ceiling. We shall see, but at least the government is still funded. You know what I mean? I'm glad that people aren't getting furloughed. Like, I can't imagine. I always think about this shit during this time. Like, if I was in a government position, the first time this comes up, I'd be done. I'd be out, because you can't tell me I'm gonna come in to work and not get paid, or like, hey, you will get paid, but like you're working for free until we get this all worked out at a later date. Like, nah, motherfucker, I need to eat now. I don't care. I'm sorry. Fuck this shit. Fuck the U.S. Like, two middle fingers. Like, no, man. Like, I couldn't be in a job like that. You know what I mean? So, hey, I'm just glad we got the deal done. This like might have been the closest we've gotten to it, and during my time covering this kind of shit. So yeah, I mean, it was definitely interesting to see if the wheels were gonna fall off, because Trump seemed to be like, nah, I've let it. It's not gonna be on me. Even though, I mean, technically, people would have been like, nah, you definitely were part of this. But then I really don't know these days. Like, the mysticism, the magic that Trump has is at an all time high. You know, I think to a certain extent, I believed it was real, but kind of wanted to hope against hope that it would work out. But I think him winning, it really just puts us all the way back in Narnia. Like, anything can happen. You know what I mean? I don't know. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on. Let's get international. Sadly, some sad news. From CBS News, 7-year-old girl killed, 6 other people wounded in stabbing attack at school in Croatia, police say. A 7-year-old girl was killed, and at least 5 other students and a teacher were wounded in a knife attack at a school in the Croatian capital, Zagreb, on Friday, police said. The local hospital said the wounded teacher had suffered life-threatening injuries, Reuters reported. Officials said the attack happened at 9:50 a.m. local time at the Preko Elementary School in the neighborhood of the same name. They described the young attacker as a young male and said he had been detained. Croatia's Interior Ministry said the attacker was 19 years old. Local media reported the attacker was a former student at the school and showed video footage of children running away from the school building and a medical helicopter landing in the schoolyard. So yeah, obviously a very sad attack. Good that they were able to, I guess, like, get onto the scene as soon as possible. I believe the attacker at some point tries to isolate themselves and wound themselves, if I'm not mistaken. And I think I'm taking this information from another article that I was kind of reading a bit before I got on. But I think that the remaining victims are in better circumstances in terms of like their injuries and whatnot. But don't fully quote me on that last part. So yeah, definitely unfortunate, 2 times this week, whether we're talking in America, we're talking, Croatia, like we have 2, acts of violence. Definitely unfortunate to cover this kind of shit, but it just goes to show that it's going to keep on happening. It's going to, be a constant that we do have to deal with. But I don't really have too many details in terms of like what the motivation was here, but if I do find out, I will, definitely be back for an update on that. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to another story. Also pretty grim, I gotta say, as it loads up. Bear with me here. Oh, all right, it kind of half did. Hold on, let's see if I can just reload it here. At least, and this is from the Associated Press, I'm sorry. At least 2 dead and 60 hurt after a car drives into a German Christmas market in a suspected attack. See, I initially had heard this like at the end of the night as I was going to bed. And it was like, people had been injured in a car attack or a car situation, and the way I kind of perceived it, I was like, is it like an accidental thing? Like, is this like what's going on? And then I found I was like, not just people have been injured. It looked at like, I think the number might have actually even went up from 2 to 5 people might have been killed in this situation, and that it was intentional. This wasn't like some kind of accident or like some kind of bus, going off the rails or some kind of thing. No, it's looking to be intentional, at least allegedly. From Magdeburg, Germany, a car plowed into a busy outdoor Christmas market in the eastern German city of Magdeburg, which I gotta say, I love the town Magdeburg. like Madge. Sorry. Anyway, on Friday, killing at least 2 people and injuring at least 60 others in what authorities called a deliberate attack. The driver was arrested at the scene shortly after the car barreled into the market at around 7 p.m. when it was teeming with holiday shoppers looking forward to the weekend. I mean, now this kind of goes without saying, like they add a cultural significance here because like, I guess back in the Middle Ages, this was like a big thing to like go to your fair market area and like it was just all studded out for Christmas or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, baby, capitalism has been alive and well, even in infancy, even in its proto days. Like, sure. You got to come to do the commerce. So we're going to mix everything here. We're going to focus everything here in this town square like area. That doesn't really surprise me. I mean, yeah, in America, we go crazy. You know, like if your shopping mall areas, all the malls and all that bullshit. And now we got a lot of outdoor shopping malls, right? And that's a whole thing. But this is a bit, personal now, taking it out of Germany. The older I get, the less I want to go out and be in the thick of those things, to the point of like I almost do like a no-fly zone, or no drive zone, I should say, where I don't go to those areas. Like, let's say I have a problem and I got to go to Best Buy. Well, that's like I got to go to the township and I got to be in these little bougie area, and I don't want to do all that. It's going to be a lot of Christmas shoppers right now. I'll wait until literally next year, until January, and then it'll kind of die down and I'll do my shopping then. But obviously people do love that shit. They want to get in the thick of it. They want to have that Christmas atmosphere and yada, yada, yada. So, I mean, I totally get that. And it's definitely a shame that, you're out with your family, you're running your Christmas errands, you're taking in the Christmas spirit, and then this fucking happens. You know what I mean? You potentially lose your life. You're injured, You have to witness that shit. That's traumatic as hell. The driver was arrested at the scene shortly after the car barreled into the market at around 7 p.m. when it was teeming with holiday shoppers looking forward to the weekend. Verified bystander footage distributed by the German news agency DPA showed the suspect's arrest on a walkway in the middle of the road. A nearby police officer pointing a handgun at the man shouted at him as he lay prone. Officers soon arrived to take the man into custody. The 2 people confirmed dead were an adult and a toddler. Damn. But officials said additional deaths couldn't be ruled out because 15 people had been seriously injured. So that's where I kind of got the update about more people. So, yeah, definitely, unfortunate. It was they say 50-year-old Saudi doctor. I'm not 100% sure there. That my age might not be right, or it might be right. If I get clarification on that, I might put a correction in the bio. So beware of that. But yes, a Saudi doctor who moved to Germany in 2006. There isn't any indication that his immigration status or anything like that was like a motivating factor, though we don't know what the motivation is. I know in this year alone, we've covered stories like that out of China where someone just has like a snap and then you have a break and they say, hey, I'm going to use my car as a weapon and I'm going to vent my frustrations out onto the public. So we just don't know what happened here with this person, but naturally, I'm sure the conversations are taking really dark turns, really unfortunate terms, where you go, oh, it's this person. Oh, it's an immigration issue. This is an immigration problem, and we could fix it this way or that way. I don't think that that's the way to respond to this kind of situation at all. But that being said, this shit is still fresh and new, and we don't know all of the details. So, once again, I definitely want to, say, hey, we're going to keep you posted, or, I'm going to keep you posted if I hear any more details or updates from this situation. Let's see. Yeah, they do reference another situation that took place. The violence occurred in Magdeburg, a city of 240,000 people west of Berlin that serves as Saxony-Anhalt's capital. Friday's attack came 8 years after an Islamic extremist drove a truck into crowded Christmas market in Berlin, killing 13 people and injuring many others. The attacker was killed days later in a shootout in Italy. So, wow. There's that. But yeah, definitely a big story I wanted to mention. Now, we're going to, segue into our last story for today. And, it's a bit lighter, but I gotta say, the party's over. So let's go ahead and do our closeout, our last break, and then we'll close it out. How's that sound? Ooh, sign that the algorithm is listening and watching. I'm getting an Aspercream ad as we speak. Kick pain in the Aspercream. Yeah, dude, I thought I would feel so sexy just rubbing on some Aspercream on myself. Though I will say, I have a special how do you say cream, if you will, balm. It's not a cream, it's more of a balm. It's like a THC kind of situation. I do like to use that. That's my Aspercream. But anyway, let's talk shit. Let's talk business, or the lack thereof, maybe. From CNN, Party City is going out of business. Womp womp. Party City is closing down all of its stores, ending nearly 40 years in business, CNN has learned. CEO Barry Litwin, which I gotta say, man, Litwin is a cool ass fucking last name. Like, imagine, I would love to have the last name Isaiah Litwin. I feel like I would I'd be a little bit cooler. Whatever. Edwards is fine. CEO Barry Litwin told corporate employees Friday in a meeting viewed by CNN that Party City is winding down operations immediately and that today will be their last day of employment. Staff were told they will not receive severance pay, and they were told their benefits would end as the company goes out of business. I think this is so fucking slimy and fucking grimy. Look, if you do not have a contingency plan baked in for your end of days as a business, you are already fucked. Like, you're just fucked to me. I don't want to hear any of your fucking shit. Save your goddamn tears, because you don't give a fuck about your people. You never did. So now that it's closing time, shit's fucked up now, and people aren't getting theirs. Like, you should get these things at the end of your employment period. It doesn't matter if the company's failing or not. So I already am not with this shit. Like, oh, we didn't see this coming. No, you guys had already filed for bankruptcy last year, if I'm not fucking mistaken. I didn't cover that, but at the same time, you already knew that this shit was in the works, and you didn't get out of that bankruptcy with an actual clear plan to be sustainable. And I'm just going to riff at this point. Essentially, what has taken Party City down is the fact that you have Spirit. That's a big factor. They come in and just eat your lunch on fucking Halloween. And then you have Walmart, you have Amazon, you have Target, all these department retail stores. They are very good at just converting their business model to just integrate into for the holidays and then just tear that shit down and get back to doing what they do best. Whereas Party City is essentially here for the holidays, like Halloween, maybe a little bit of Christmas decoration action or whatever, but other than that, what are you doing? Birthday balloons? And apparently they had a whole helium shortage. That was a whole fucking snafu debacle they had to go through. So the times have been rough for Party City. It hasn't been a good run. But that being said, to go through all of that and not have an end game for your employees and say, I'm so sorry, guys. We just fucked up, man. Like, come on, dude. And Litwin came in at the end of the shit. He's one of those, CEOs that are essentially, hey man, you're here to keep the fires at a bare minimum while we just close this shit down while it burns out, okay? It's the end of the line. It's the end of the fucking road. And to say you just don't have these contingencies, once again, I don't have any fucking, sympathy for you, dog. Save the fucking tears, bro. So boo that man, boo this company at the end of the day. I feel bad for the employees having to be like, oh, I guess I just don't have a fucking job now. And I mean, the phase out's going to, I guess, kind of continue on. It's not immediate per se, but I think in terms of corporate staff, they're the ones who are bearing the brunt immediately. Yeah, shit's done. Sorry about it. But also on Friday, some of the Party City's store employees received letters that the company would close down stores on February 28th, and at which point staff would be terminated. So essentially, you'll be employed until then. Good luck. So yeah, like I said, they talk about the causes, all that bullshit. Something to kind of mention because it's a bit of an update. Big Lots announced Thursday it was starting going out of business sales at all of its locations after a plan for a private equity firm to rescue the bankruptcy retailer failed. So once again, it's just bad signs for a lot of companies like this. I know a lot of times, a lot of times people think that these companies are forever. Like they're fucking business empires or something. Like they're too big to fucking fail. It's like, no, baby doll. Like this shit could be done tomorrow. Like I remember being a kid and going to Party City to get a costume or two for sure. It was one of those things where like if you could find a specialty kind of store, sure. But then as I got older, you would initially check maybe the Walmart or what have you. But more times than not, yes, you would go to Party City. But once Spirit became a thing, why would you? Right? Like Spirit just was gonna have what you needed, and then it did. You just get your shit and you go. You're good to go. And now they're trying to maintain their shit for maybe Christmas, maybe potentially other holidays in the future, who knows. But at the end of the day, they are more, I want to say mobile, more efficient with doing what they're doing, just like once again the Walmarts, the Amazons, the Targets. Even though Target has been also struggling on sales, but that's a whole other episode. At the end of the day, the writing probably was kind of on the wall for Party City. So that's why I have such a damning, fucking fist in the air condemnation for them, because you didn't do right by the people who kept your shit afloat, who worked the goddamn jobs for shitty ass fucking pay. You didn't do right by them. So fuck you. Like, you know what I mean? I don't have like happy trails for you, and that's lame. But anyway, I mean, capitalism is as capitalism does. So that's where I'll close it out for today. Let's see. If you'd like to help out, support the effort, I do have a Patreon. Patreon.com/ZangaNews. Become a newsie today. Free ways to hit me up at ZangaNews1@gmail.com. Feel free to follow me or the podcast on any of the socials. Please subscribe to the YouTube. That's a free way to help out. Really does wonders for the numbers. Hit that subscription button. Leave a nice comment. Hit the like button. Sharing's caring. Feel free to do that for Spotify. Whatever platform you're listening on. It's always nice. It's always appreciated. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being a friend. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.